Right. Hi everyone. So this is part 3. So in part 2, we were discussing communication in general, and we also did touch on group communication. Okay. So part 2, for part 2, we are going to talk about I couldn't remember. Oh yeah, okay, small group communication, right? So this is more focused. Okay, I try as much as possible not to have the discussion long. Okay, so the contents. One of the things that we are going to learn in this particular part, the small group roles in small group decision making, small group conflict. Okay, so what are the conflicts, etc., etc. Okay, so now let's start. What does it mean by small group? What does it mean by small group? Generally, you have 3 to 12 people. So if you are in this number, right, and the fact that your group discussion assessment will be the small group assessment, small group kind of assessment. So the reason for you to be in a group because you have one common purpose, right? And then because it's a group, you are interdependent with one another. Okay, so whatever one person say will impact the other person. So okay, now let's talk about the organizing rules. Okay, the reason why you are okay now, in your case, some of you probably you are in that group because you are forced to be in that group. But let's just say in general, right? Why? Okay, why are you in a group with bunch of guys? Because probably you share the same purpose, you share the common practice, you share the common idea, right? So in terms of the organization, right, in terms of organizing rules, of course you will be connected with some sort of structure or some sort of rules. Okay, self perception as a group. um okay um do you okay in a group, right, you are supposed to act as one, but at the same time we are not ignoring the fact that you have your own stance as well, you have your own way as well. However, you have okay, so this is what I'm trying to say lah, you have your own idea, but you are also attached to this group. So whatever idea that you have to uh assimilate. You have to assimilate. Okay, you have to assimilate. Roles in small group communication. So there will be two parts, or like okay, two section in a small group communication. There will be the leader and there will be the members. Okay, so as leader, what do you need to do? Of course, you have to lead, you have to facilitate the discussion. You have to make sure that there will be no time waste. And then you also, okay, because you are leading the community, you are leading the discussion, so you have to make sure you know the discussion will have some sort of target, right? Some sort of target, some sort of objective. Now as as members, what do you need to do? You have to participate. Don't blue tick. Don't blue tick. Okay, don't blue tick, don't ignore. And then as a team member, you have to understand everybody, every soul in that group plays some role. Okay, and then as members, of course, you have to support your leader. You cannot just leave your leader hanging on his or her own. And then as a member in a group discussion, you have to listen and you have to respect whenever other members are saying things. Now, and then if let's say there are instances where you don't agree with other members, don't throw things at them, don't smack them. No, when you disagree, you say that you disagree and you say why you disagree professionally. Okay, now function and skills of a leader, of course, be ready. as a leader, because you are the one who facilitate, you are the one who going to lead the group in the direction of achieving or coming to the destination, right? So you need to do the planning part. You need to do the planning part. Activate the group agenda, of course, promote group interaction. So if you see that there's one member that does not say anything, you as a leader as to as is supposed to address A, C. Why are you not saying anything? Do you have any problems? What? You you might have something interesting to share with us. Come on, C. Say something. Maintain effective interactions, right? You have to make sure that when you are discussing, there shouldn't be one person dominating the whole discussion, right? As a leader, you say, oh, I think you have said enough. Why don't we give opportunity to other people? So that is what the leader needs to do. Empower group members. Okay, so you could say something like, when you are empowering your group member, you say, okay, you know what, this is a safe space. Whatever ideas that you have, whatever wicked idea that you have, just tell us, and then we discuss whether or not the idea is doable. Okay, now continue keep members on track. So basically, you need to ask question, you need to summarize, you need to give focus your attention. So for example, like, so after sometimes when you discuss, right, out of sudden there will be one person, hey, hungry lah, where to eat? So as a leader, you need to make sure, okay, fine, I know everybody is hungry, but can we just, can we finish all this discussion and then we discuss about where to eat or what to eat? Okay, ensure member satisfaction. Okay, I know this is pretty much very not practical, but as a leader, you have to at least make sure everybody has said their piece. Okay, you have to make sure that you ask for everybody's opinion. Encourage ongoing evaluation. As a leader, um, you have to take note of the problems, difficulties, and then of course, encourage ongoing evaluation is something like this. Okay, I know it's the window is really tight. I know the submission date. I know the submission date is approaching so soon than we expected. However, I know everybody can do it. So let's just persevere this part, and then we will celebrate when we finish this project. Something like that. Or manage conflict. And if let's say your team members are fighting with one another, you are the one who going to take charge. Okay, you are the one who take charge, the leader. Okay, member roles are in small communication. So basically, each of you will have different expertise, and because you have different expertise, you have to play your role as such. Okay, you have to play your role as such. Okay, so initiator, contributor, remember, as a members of the group discussion, you have to contribute. You cannot be just um listening to people, not contributing. Information seeker, yeah. If you are in a group, you, other than contributing your ideas, you also need to get to know things. You are also have to be opinion seeker, information giver, opinion giver, elaborator. Okay, so I hope this time around, when you are when you are doing your group discussion, I hope everybody will not be just a silent reader. Okay, you are just there sitting, showing your pretty face, your handsome face, and not saying anything. Please. Okay, right? It's very important actually. It's very important for you to contribute. Even though you have this mentality where, Allah, why should I contribute? Everybody else has contributed. It's enough already. No. That's if you were to have that kind of mindset, you will be the burden to that group, and that's not good. Everybody will not wanting you. Okay, so yeah. The member roles. Okay, so if let's say you have like, okay, let's say you are 3 to 4 people. So in that 3 to 4 people, you will, okay, you will have different roles at different times. Okay, so one of you will be coordinator, one of you will be orienter, evaluator, critic, energizer. I am not going to explain what, but I think it's pretty much very straightforward. You can read on your own. There will be one that will be the recorder. That okay, so something like that. There will be someone. There will be someone that reminds, hey, remember, we are going to meet this week, tau. Okay, or like, remember by this week we need to do one, two, three. So everybody will have the role. Kan macam okay, for example, like one of you in that 3 to 4 people, one of you will be like the information seeker. You, because you're so expert in information seeking, and one of you would be the one that writes because you are good in your writing. One of you will be the drafter or whatever. Okay, now be group or team oriented. Now means we do not know how to work in a group. Learn. Okay, be group or team oriented. As a group, your task is to put your talents, knowledge, and insight. Now, okay, what is so good about group work? Because you can know, you can gather, you can collect many perspectives. Because I can guarantee you and I can promise you, each and every one of you will have different perspective on the same thing. So when you have different perspective, different idea, that's what makes your work better. And that's what also makes you a better person. Okay? So because everybody will have different way of thinking, you need to keep an open mind. And you need to be understanding. Okay. I do understand. Sometimes when you are in a group, right, they will be like, Miss, this particular person can always keep our discussion lah, and then he will always give excuse like I'm busy. Okay. If you just give one, okay, if you use the busy excuse for one time, it is acceptable. But if you keep on using the excuse of busy, you are being ridiculous, you are being unreasonable. Why? Because if you said that you are busy, so are you saying that your friends are not busy? And that's not fair. Your friends are also taking 7 to 8 courses this semester. Your friends are also having, 27 or 8 times 4, 28 to 32 assignments. So if you keep on using the excuse of busy, you are being selfish. Okay? Right? Okay, factors in small group communication. Social or emotional factor. The know factors. Know the strength and weakness of your group. So sometimes, you know for certain that your group members, they are not really good in 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 finding some information, but they are really good in paraphrasing. So also develop a sense of fun in group without losing sight of your purpose. So when you are working in a group, right, you will discover new things about each other. So that's where you also develop yourself and you also develop your dynamic as a group. Make sure everybody is engaged and able to speak. Okay, remember, no matter how much ideas, how many ideas do you have, you need to give people chance and space to speak their ideas also. Okay? Be sensitive to group chemistry and watch if member fails. Okay? So don't say or don't use all those irrelevant things lah. Even though you think it's just a joke, kan, sometimes people cannot accept the jokes. Sometimes your jokes are also not funny. Yeah, most of the time my jokes are not funny. I know. Okay. Physical factors. So when you having your group discussions, so these are the physical factors that you need to consider. You need to find a place that is comfortable for everyone to meet and to talk, without least distraction. And then whenever you are having your group discussion, make sure everybody is facing everybody else, and most of the time you are advised to sit in a circle. Now, make sure the spot or the setting or the venue or the place that you chose for your group discussion has, has a bearable temperature, ventilation. This is very basic stuff lah. Right, group decision making. Okay, so this is something that I want you to know once and for all. When you are deciding as a group, it's not only come from one person. Okay, let's say person A is the leader, so whatever person A says is the decision. No, decision making in a group, you have to make sure everybody agrees to that. Okay, everybody agrees to that. It has to be a consensus. It cannot be just one man show kind of thing. No, 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 no. Or like, okay, just because this guy looks intelligent, looks clever, everybody else is just following him or her. No, don't do that. That is not group decision making. Deciding in a group means that everybody has a say, everybody will agree, everybody understand what has been decided. Okay, so the advantages of group decision making, of course, you will have you will have a complete information, and then when you are discussing in a group and you decide as a group, you will have more alternative. You will increase acceptance of a solution because when you decide in a group or as a group, you decide as a group, you have take into consideration of many perspectives. Okay, and of course, and when the decision is made by a group, then the legitimacy or the practicality of that idea or the decision is higher. Okay, what is the downside of deciding in a group? Is time consuming because you need to get everybody to be involved. Minority domination. So minority domination, probably, some people, because they outshadow everybody else. Pressures to conform. Okay, you are not, okay, let's say this is a situation. You don't like the decision, right? For certain there's other better decision, but because majority says it is, so you are pressured to conform. Ambiguous responsibility, meaning that ambiguous means as a group members, right? You don't have a definite role. Everybody is doing everything. So that is the downside of group decision making. Okay, techniques of group decision making. You have to have the consensus, or we go with the majority rules, or we go with the expert opinion, authority rule, or minority controls. Okay. Reaching a consensus means everybody 100% agree to that. Majority rules mean, okay, 8 out of the 10 agrees to that. That is majority rule. Expert opinion, usually, okay, you ask and, okay, expert opinion means, okay, let's say in your group, right, you have this one person that is considered senior and has been doing that thing for a long time. So he or she is considered an expert. Or minority controls, so minority control is basically, okay, what are we going to eat? Okay, let's go with pizza. One person say pizza. And then it's not that, everybody in your group loves pizza. And when that person suggests pizza for your lunch, it should be okay. That is minority control. An authority rule is, authority rule means, like, let's say in your group, you have a prime minister or you have a minister. And whether like it or not, you have to follow by his rule. Yeah, that's it. For workplace conflict, I think this is the very reason also, you are you are gathering information, you are collecting knowledge of workplace conflict. Okay. Workplace conflict occurs when people are interdependent, they are connected in some significant way. For example, like if in that group you have a boyfriend and girlfriend, or you have a wife and husband. So if let's say the wife and husband has a problem at home and they bring it to work, so then that is a conflict. So another conflict will be, okay, let's say you have two parties, two persons. Okay, so one of the goals can be achieved and one of the goal cannot be achieved. So there will be a fight. There will be quarreling, brawling, squabbling, whatever, whatever. Okay, workplace conflict. So what do we learn? Do not get married to your colleague. If you were to get married to your colleague, then make sure either one of you change work or change to a different workplace, change to a different department. Do you know that some companies and some institutions, they don't allow the spouses to work under the same companies? Because of like this lah, you know. But sometimes you cannot help. Yes, you try to be professional, but if if that is something really serious, right? You will bring the problems at home to work. Okay. So procedural conflicts probably, okay, your boss wants you to use step ABC. But actually, in order for you to get things done, you have to follow DEF. So that is procedural conflicts. People conflicts basically. Okay, people conflicts is basically like this. Let's say you have team members, one team member, and that team member is jenis palatau. The smart alert, there's no Mr. No Eat All or Mrs. No Eat All, no Eat All. So when you have that kind of person in your group, it will be a conflict because that person will not be open to listen to your opinions. And you also get upset and frustrated because that person doesn't seem to understand your opinion is actually can work compared to his or her opinion. Right? Types of group conflict. You have conflicts of substance, conflicts of values, conflicts of process, conflict of misperceived differences, relationship conflicts. Um, Conflicts of substance usually when you have um, different opinions. Conflicts of values basically, okay, let's say your team members is okay by cheating the way out, but you don't. You still need to keep your integrity. So that is conflicts of value. Conflict of process, you know okay, so conflict of process is like this. um they You have many ways, right? Going you have many ways to go to Mid Valley from UTM. So not everybody will choose route A. Somebody will choose route B. Somebody will choose route C. So you know the journey, the route that you choose in order for you to reach the same target can cause conflicts. Okay, conflicts of misperceived differences. People interpret each other actions or emotion incorrectly. Kan, sometimes you think, I think he doesn't like me, but actually it's not. So that can also cause conflict. So sometimes there's also situation where, why are you always going against me? What did I do to you? Some people have that. Actually, it's not going against. It's just that whatever you suggested is not really suitable. So that's why people counter. So that is conflicts of misperceived differences. Relationship conflicts because of ego. Yeah, right. I am better than you. That is ego. How do you resolve the conflict? Competing. I win, you lose. That is one of the resolution, right? Or you can collaborate. So if I win, you also win. Compromising, I win and lose, you win and lose. Avoiding, I lose, you lose. Okay, so basically, what is this conflict resolution all about? Okay, now, how do you resolve a problem? Probably you give in and you give chance to the other people to win. So that's why I win and you lose, or I lose and you win. But if you choose to have a win-win situation, okay, let's do this and also do this. So it's a win-win situation. Compromise, okay. Let's take let's take this part from you, and let's remove this part from me. And let's also take this part from you, let's remove this part. So that's why I win and lose at the same time. You also win and lose at the same time. So avoiding, if you choose to resolve your conflict by avoiding, means both of the parties will lose. Avoiding means, okay, you know what, I'm not going to do it, you're not going to do it, fine, let's not do it. That is lose. That is losing. This is also a video you can watch on your own. Strategies for conflict prevention. How do you prevent conflict? Emphasizing group goals and effectiveness. Okay, so when you are working in a group, it's not about I, it's not about me, it's not about myself. It's about us, our, and we. So that's why again and again you have to remind you and your team members to focus on the group goals and the effectiveness. Providing stable, well-structured tasks. So everybody needs to have a specific task, specific job scope. Facilitating dialogue. So whenever you have problem, whenever you don't feel happy, invite a discussion. Okay, invite the discussion.